Let's get started. Let me share the agenda for today's demo. So we're going to talk about Oracle Cloud applications today. So this will be a short demo. So where I'm going to show you the cloud application overview and how to navigate the system and what are the different models that are part of this course curriculum and what is it covered as part of the training program, like supply chain management modules. Then we're going to cover the data conversion activities. So we're not going to see, I'm going to show you the strategy, how it works in real time in system. Then we have reports, which is called as OTBA and BA. Then this course also covers about the configuration workbook and function specification documents. So can you just give your background, please?
Yeah, so I'll start with my side. Okay. So
Okay.
I overall I'm not a supply chain consultant onto the EBS side. So I possess overall eight plus years of experience into EBS models, that is inventory, order management, and procurement. And so currently working with Cognizant Technologies.
Okay. So you already have the experience on EBS, correct?
Yes, yes. So
So
the
this should not be.
agenda, so the my intention to join this cloud classes is to move on to the cloud side as we have a limited projects, right? So in the coming days, so
Correct.
that's it. I'm planning to enroll for this role.
Okay. Yeah, next, please. Next, do you want to introduce yourself? Anyone?
Guys, anyone?
Yeah, I can hear you. All right, so let me get started from my side. So my name is Pramod. I have around 20 years of experience working on Oracle products, which includes both EBS as well as Oracle Cloud applications. Okay, so I have experience working on supply chain management mainly, and worked on implementation supports and upgrade projects. Okay, so I'm giving these trainings for the last couple of years, corporate training for a few companies too. Okay, so this demo, as I said, right? So people have joined a little bit late, so I'm going to repeat this. So we're going to talk about Oracle Cloud applications, how this evolved, and then what are the modules that will be part of this Oracle supply chain modules that we're going to cover. Then data conversion activities, reports, and the project documentations. I mean, you already have experience on EBS, so this would be really easy because the terminal itself were quite similar compared to EBS. Okay, in case again, if you are really new to cloud, not have any experience in any of the ERPs, you don't have to worry as long as you know um, the supply chain concepts, or if you don't know the supply chain concepts, also we start with the domain. We start with the business process, and then we move on to the cloud applications and we'll demo the product. Okay. So in terms of supply chain models, we're going to cover the FSM, function setup manager, which is a feature of what do you call cloud application where you navigate and do the configurations. That's like a settings. Then we have user management where we talk about users, how to manage the users, create the users, then how to create the custom roles or how to assign the roles. Okay. Again, this is a small topic, but we just want to call out to make sure that how detailed you want to do this. Okay. Then we have something called as PDH, which is more of a item management where you manage your items, create the items, okay, upgrade the items, or assign it to different organizations. Okay? Capture some additional information of the item information. So those will be part of the items. Okay, creating the categories, assigning the categories, classification, grouping of the items. Okay. Then we have something called as workflows for items, where you can generate the items using the workflows, maybe automatic item numbering system or change order process. Those can be part of your PDH. Then inventory, again, managing all your stock, managing all your inventory movements. It can be in-house or outside of the application or outside of your warehouses. Okay, all your receipts, all your countings, basically. Okay? This will be part of your inventory management. Okay? Order management, pretty much we're going to cover, you know, starting from creating the sales order to fulfilling the orders, and what are the configurations that will be part of it. Okay, so creating the sales order, pricing, GOPs, and shipping and invoicing. So all these steps we are going to do, and we are going to configure the application. At the same time, we are going to do different scenarios in the applications. Any questions? Any questions?
Yeah, hi. Pramod, like, what does this PDH full form to mean?
Product
Like
development hub.
product?
Development hub.
Oh,
Okay.
so yes, I'm okay with this. We can.
Okay.
One
Fine.
thing I just wanted to know in a better way is that what all the convert like I came to know like there are several tools which we associate for the fusion, right? Which we use for the data transfer or loading the
Correct.
things.
Correct.
So those are the majorly which we come across during the interviews, most of the
Correct.
interviews, right? So that I just wanted to understand what all the tools we use, how do we use those things. So if you cover that as well, then it would be helpful for me.
Definitely. So what I'm going to first give you the navigation to the cloud applications. Then I'll come back to data conversion. Then I'll talk about the tools and the strategy that happens in cloud applications. Then I'm going to show you the reports. Okay.
Sure, sure.
All right. Okay. So let me quickly log out and log in back to the applications. Again, currently we are using a demo part.
Okay.
So you'll be given this access so that you can start working on this and getting the hands-on on the application. So
Mhm.
now, so this is your username and password. Okay. Username is not case sensitive. You can enter the application lowercase, okay, but password is the case sensitive. Okay, then click on the sign in. Once you click on sign in, again, this is a cloud application. This is not, you know, an application where you're downloading the Java forms or anything.
Java forms and all.
Correct. So now, what Oracle did as part of the product development, right? So as product development and enhancements, now Oracle has EBS. Okay. This is the product that they developed from scratch. Okay. Apart from that, they
Mhm.
also have CBL, JD Edwards, PeopleSoft. Okay. All these products are acquired by Oracle. As part of the continuous product development, what Oracle did, they came up with a product by taking the best features from each and every product. Some features from Prodigy CBL, some of them from JD Edwards, some of them from EBS. Likewise, they took and developed a new product from scratch that is called as cloud applications. Okay, so
Okay.
cloud application is built based on all the features that are being taken from the different products. So that's the reason you can see different terminologies from different applications. All right. Now, Fusion word stands for mix or something. Okay. Now, Oracle Cloud has similar modules what you had in EBS, but this is more of a cloud, and this is called as a software as a service, which is a SaaS modules. Okay. Now,
Mhm.
software as a service, you have PaaS as PaaS is nothing but platform as a service where the customers are given a flexibility where they can customize few things. Okay. IaaS is nothing but infrastructure. So most of the customers they implement SaaS because it is subscription based. Where in case if you want to implement inventory, you buy the product, select the number of users, and pay use. Okay, it's a tool where you buy it and start using it. That is what you can do. It is called as software as a service. Okay. So you don't have to download anything. All you can do, log into the URL, enter your credentials, and you're all good to go to use the applications. All right. Now there are two users. One is a consultant, just like us, just like us. Then you have end users. Consultants are the one who actually implements the products for the customer based on the customer needs. End users are the one who are using the system. It's like a business users. Okay, they'll be the one who actually use the system for the day-to-day operations. Okay, so consultants are like us who implement the product, and end users we have will be mostly using the product for their day-to-day operations. Now it depends upon the role and the responsibility that they are playing in their company. They will be given certain access that are called as roles and data access in the applications. Once you log into the application, you'll get this landing page. This is called as home page of Oracle Cloud applications. Now on the top, you're seeing vision and some icons. These are like global icons. If you navigate to any page, you can see this ribbon, black ribbon. Again, you can customize this home page. You can add your own logos. You can change the theme. You can change the wallpaper. Okay. So this is customized. So whatever you're seeing is a demo vision theme. But in case if you have a requirement where you want to upload customer logo, customer wallpaper, you can still do this. That is available as part of the configurations, which is done by an app. Now this is called as a navigator. When you click on this, you see all these things, right? Procurement, supply chain execution, and intercompany fixed assets. So I am order management. I'm seeing all these links, right? These are nothing but the roles that you have been given in the application. Probably the user is working in a warehouse and his role is to work on inventory, counting inventory transactions. Then he'll be given access to supply chain execution and inventory management. Okay. Or if he's a supply chain manager, then he'll have supply chain manager. Okay. Or he's a marketing manager, sales manager who is responsible for creating sales. Then he'll be given access to order management and order management. Right. So these are defaulted or these have been displayed based on the roles that are given to the user. Okay. Either you can click on this navigator or you can click on this home page springboard. These are called as springboard icons. Now, what you see here, you can do the same thing here. It's just look and feel and ease of navigation. Okay. So now ease of navigations. These are called as springboard where you have all these icons. These icons are displayed based on the user roles. Okay. Now this is a home icon. This is a favorites. Favorites is nothing but like a bookmark. Most of the browsers have this option so that you don't have to remember the URL. So all you can do you can save pages to this favorite so that it's like a shortcut bookmark. You easily navigate to this. Okay? If I want to navigate to sales order, all I can do rather than navigating here, I can just click on my favorites, then it takes you to the page. Okay? Then this is something called as watch list. Watch list ideally is used for monitoring something. Some orders are pending, you want to monitor. Rather than going to that screen, you can create a watch list. And this is a notification icon, which ideally tells you what are all the notifications that you need to add or that is for your information purpose. Okay?
So it is similar to the notification which we usually see on the EBS side, right? Whenever
Same
we
thing. See, correct.
it's
See, irrespective of any ERP product, you have something called as alerts, notifications, where you have to work on it or it's only for your information purpose. Right?
Okay.
Right. So notification is not an EBS. It's basically most of any ERP or any software or any tool, it will display. It's latest updates probably or an alert or something you need to work on it. That's part of your notifications. Then the last one is a settings icon. It's like a user account. When you click on this, you get a pop-up like this. And this is where you start doing all your configuration by clicking on setup and maintenance. Just like in EBS, you have something called as setup. Under that, you have all the configurations, correct? Right? Now,
Mm-hmm.
similarly here, you don't have to go to each and every module. All you can do, click on here, and then it takes you to the page pop-up. Click on setup and maintenance. This is where you navigate to perform all your configurations. Clear? Now,
Okay.
in EBS world, just keep in EBS world, if you want to do order management configurations, what you do, you go to order management super user, click on
Right.
setup, then you do the setups. If it is inventory, you go to inventory manager, click on setup, do the inventory manager, inventory setups, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
Right. So now here also you go to the account. The only difference is you go to the setup from here and then you pick up the model what is that you want to do. Clear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here you can select, let's say procurement. Procurement is select. And then I start doing the configuration. See, if I want to do the order management, then I select order management. Here I'm going to select the order management. This is the only difference. Okay. Now these are called as offerings. Order management is an offering. Procurement is an offering. Okay. So which means, let's say if you buy, if you see the media industry, right? So if you buy Netflix or if you buy a CTV pack, right? So basically, when you buy it, again you have a lot of channels in it. Then you can opt what is that you want to see, and then you place for it. Correct? Z has
Mm-hmm.
let's 10 channels. Sony has 15 channels, but not all are free. Again, you have to buy each and every channel. Same way here also, it's an offering is like Sony. Then you need to pick what is that you want to implement. Okay. Now this is called as order management is called as a offering. And when you go to actions, go to offerings, you will see all the packages. It's like a pack. You can pick what is that you want to implement. Let's say my requirement is I want to implement order management. Then I enable it. Procurement, I want to implement, then I enable it. Okay. Or probably, manufacturing. I want to implement. Manufacturing is nothing but it's part inventory is part of manufacturing. So you enable this. Okay. Now you have something called as opt-in features. This is
Okay.
where you enable what is that you really want to implement. I want to implement only inventory because my requirement is I am a distribution company and I want to implement inventory. I don't have any manufacturing at all. So I don't implement manufacturing. So those are all your opt-in features. Okay. You have
Mm-hmm.
offering, then you have options. Options are basically, options are basically nothing, but what is that you want to implement underneath. Okay. Now,
Okay.
now this is an overview. Now again, what SF is function setup manager will do. In short, it is called as FSM. So what this will do, this will allow you to configure the application and this will allow you to do a lot of other things. Okay. Like, import, export the option. Let's say, for example, now in case if you want to import a configurations, maybe, units of measure is a task. Units of
Mm-hmm.
measurement is a task. Now, probably in your in your business, you have 50 units of measurement. You don't want to do it manually. You want a system automation process or a spreadsheet where like, you can enter it and upload it to the application. So what you can do, rather than manually entering that, you have an option called as import export feature in FSM. So which means I can I'll enter the sample data, then I export this data, then import the data. That is what I can do. This is called as export and import feature, which is available in function setup manager. Clear?
Okay.
So in
Okay.
EBS world, we
What
use
is this compare setup data? What is this compare setup data? Uh,
compare. Yeah, I'll talk about that. Okay. So in EBS, you have something called as data loader, right? But which you used
mm-hmm.
to load the data. But now here you don't need data loaders. All you can do, export the data and import the data in the same CSV and upload it. That's it. It's quite simple. You don't have to run any programs. All you can do it's a drag and drop methodology. Just
Oh,
import the file, you're done. it uploads the data. It's quite simple. No writing any code, no running any programs. But in the background, it runs the program. But now you have something called as compare setup. What is a compare setup? Let's say, for example, you have loaded 100 units of measurements. Okay. Now you have a new file. There you have what 150 records.
Hello.
Hello? Hello? Okay. So now, okay, we've already loaded 100 units of measurements. Now we got a new file which has 150 units of measurement. Now you don't even know how many already exist in the system. Rather than that, what you want to do, you want to compare the applications. So compare the files. Before even loading, you need to understand what exists, what doesn't, and what are the descriptions. Clear? What doesn't exist,
Okay.
what needs to be created, and if it is already there, is there a change? Probably here, it's called as, let's say, each. Okay, here I'm going to create in this file, it has got each, something like this, or in a description. Your description says each unit of measurement, but here in file it says unit of measurement, something like that. So it will tell you that there's a discrepancy for that record. Okay, that is all what you can do. Setup and methods. Now, apart from that, in case if you have two different systems, dev and UAT, you can still load the data, move the data, and compare the data. All you can do from here. Okay. Now, this is part of your FSM. Okay. Now, there is something called as quick link in quick links in here in manufacturing. Ideally, what it does, it's like in case if you are preparing for a demo, if you don't have a time, in case if you just want to create a inventory orders on the fly, you can use these quick links, and system does everything for you, automated process. Like it creates the unit of measurements, it creates the receiving parameters, shipping parameters, inventory organizations, sub inventories for you. Okay, it does everything for you. It's an automation process. It is called as quick links.
Okay.
In case if you're going for a demo and you don't have much time to configure everything, you can use this. In 5 minutes, you can configure the system. At least this configuration, major configurations, okay, where you can start doing the inventory transition. Clear? Okay.
One thing, just for a thought from my side. For example, we are loading the items, 100 items, right? So out of 100, already a few of the items is already been in the system, and now we are loading extra 100 items. Now, what happens, like if the user, if the like the customer given us the duplicate or that the new items, right? It is duplicate or it is already been assigned to one operating unit, and we need to assign it to the same operating unit, right? So how does the comparison behave over there? I mean to say, already we have, and we wanted to
This
associate the same item to
okay.
the different
Two
operating.
things. Right. Now transactions are different, configurations are different. This is only for configurations, which means whatever I'm showing you, right? This is for setting up the system or the configurations, what we are going to do. Okay. Now the question you asked is from item creation process, right? That is
Right.
totally different. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll just give me a few minutes. So let me complete this. Then I'll
Sure,
start
sure.
the
I
data
just
collection.
see,
Uh,
I just
so
thought
again, correct. So if it
some
is an item,
issues.
so to answer your question for items, right? Let's say you already have 100 items. Let's assume. Okay. In the system, you have 100 items. Now you got a new file that has got 150 items. Okay. Now you're not even sure if 150 out of 150, if there are already exist or it's a new file also. Probably 30 already exist. Let's assume.
Mm.
Don't know about that. Now the moment you load the file, what system will do? It will error out this 30 because they already exist in the system.
Right.
Right. Okay, it will error the system because it says item already exists. It will not even load it. And that's a standard function of any ERP product, because if you already have if you already have an item, it doesn't take the same record.
Right.
Correct. That's there when you actually do the data connections.
No, I mean to say, for example, the 30 is there, right? So 30
Correct.
already exists. So now we need to compare it. So can we use
Comparison,
this
okay,
option?
that comparing is not there for transactional data. This comparison is only for your configurations.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, but if you want to compare, if for items, you can compare two different items, item A, item B, not for item A exist or not. That comparison is not there. I have item A, I have item B. Now, if I want to compare these two items, I can compare.
Got it, got it.
Got it? Okay. That comparison is there, not the other comparisons. Okay?
Sure.
Now, this is your home screen, as I mentioned. Now, let me take you to supply chain execution, inventory management. Now, when you click on inventory management, it opens an inventory page. Okay, this is where you navigate to perform different activities. Let's say, for example, now you want to check the stock. Okay, you see again, if you're familiar with EBS, the navigation itself is also easy. Okay. Now, if you see in inventory EBS, you have inventory transactions under that, you have transactions under that, you have inventory transaction on and balances, everything, right? If you complete a transaction, similarly here also same thing. Manage item quantities, performance trends, transactions, create sub-inventory transfer. These are all the transactions that are used for moving the materials. If you want to check the stock, you can check the item quantities. If you want to check the review completed transactions, then you can check this review completed transactions. Pretty much the same thing, but again, how you do is quite different. That's only a difference what you see. The look and feel is different compared to EBS. Okay. Now, if I click on this manage item quantities, search here, see it just displays the stock. And when you just click on the expand icon, see, it displays stock. Clear? Pretty much same similar thing what you see in EBS. Okay, but the look and feel is different. More options are available. Okay.
Okay.
Now, again, most of the pages have export options. In case if you want to export this data, you can still do this one. Okay. Now, let's say if I want to check all the inventory transactions, what I can do, I click on review completed transactions, and I can search based on the data, based on the date, based on the item, based on the organization, and you have an option called export Excel. So when you export it, it exports in Excel file. Clear?
Got it. Yeah.
Okay. Now this is about inventory, but again in inventory you have a lot of other things that you do, like counting, which includes your physical counting and cycle counting. Then you have shipments, which includes create, pick, wave, and confirm packs and shipping. All as part of your shippings. Then you have receipts, which is nothing but receiving the material into your warehouse from supplier or RMA or internal. Okay. And creating a putaways, which is nothing but moving the material to your sub inventories. You also have expansion and input receipts or RMAs, or probably if you want to do the returns to supplier, you can still do this. Now there is a new feature, new process which is included is transfer order, moving the material from one location to the other location. It's a document based where you create a transaction. You have inter or transfer, which moves the material in one step, either using direct or indirect, right? So it's the same thing, but in transfer order, you have to do the picking. That is the only difference. All right.
Mm.
Now this is part of your inventory. Then you have something called as order management. Order management, again, what you can do in order management, again, all your sales order creation process, managing your sales orders. You can see these are called as infonates, which helps you to give a data or gives you analytics, which helps you to understand what is my data looks like. How many orders are back orders? What is a positive? How many orders are in red? How many are on hold? Everything will be like this. Clear?
Okay.
These are all
Mm.
part of this. Okay. Now here you can, if in case if you want to create an order, you can always click on this create order. Again, everything is managed by data access. Just like in EBS, you have something called as access, right? Where you for that business, for that responsibility, you give default operating unit. Correct? So here it is called as business unit, not the operating unit. Okay? So in case if you want to create orders in business unit, you have to have access to this. Similar what you have in operating system. Okay. You
Okay.
give default operating unit, say HR business unit access, right? Operating unit. Similarly, you have to do the same. You create the sales order, and this is where you create it and work on it. Okay. Then pricing is a different screen where you create the pricing, where you can create your price list, where you can create your discount list. There are a lot of things that you can do here. Pricing administrator is a different role. Similar in order management, you have pricing lists. Here also you have same thing. In case if you don't have the access, you cannot see those. So currently I don't have that access. It's a demo. So creating price list, creating the discount list are part of here. Okay. Again,
So
this
are we going to
depends.
cover this pricing,
Yes, yes,
pricing in the
yes. Yeah,
course?
this is pricing is part of the order management, though that will be covered.
Okay.
Okay. So creating the sales order, creating the confirmation for sales orders. Okay. In order management, see in EBS you have something called as order type for workflows. Here it is called as orchestration process, which is part of the training. We'll talk about it. We'll do different type scenarios, and we'll run through those scenarios. Okay. Pricing, where we're going to show you how to create a basic price list, how to create a discount list, how to create some charges. Okay, those will be part of the pricing. Okay. The next one is your PIM. PIM is nothing but a product development or product life cycle, which ideally talks about how to create items. Okay. How to create an items, how to manage items. Everything will be part of this item master. Okay. But in EBS, item master screen is available in order management, PIM, or inventory and procurement, right? It's a small screen basically where you create items categories, right? But here it's a vast subject. Depends upon the project requirement. You do that. So here again, creating the items, managing the items, creating the categories, everything is part of the item management. But you have something called as item set rules, new item rule, new rule, and a new item request, which ideally helps you to manage your item creation process, which has more kind of security process.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. Then you have users, which are part of your security. Now, which means this again, this will be created by users are created and maintained by admin. Now here you have something called a security console where you create users, manage users, create roles, assign all the roles. That is what you do as part of the user management.
So it is similar to the system administrator how we have in the
Correct,
EBS.
correct. So again, in EPS, it is not everyone can have this access. So only limited people will have access who will manage everything. Here also it's the same thing. Only that system administrator access will be given to only few people, authorized, who will be working on this. Okay, where you can create the roles, create the role users. In case if you want to, search, or if you want to compare users, you can do this one. If you want to compare the user, what you can do, let's say I just enter this user as okay. Let's say I want to compare two different users. I can just click on compare. So what system will do? It will display all the results and gives comparison. Okay, who has what access?
Got it.
Got it. So you can see these are the access that this user has. This doesn't have. Now, if you see only the first user, if you click, it will show you only those that this first user has. The second user doesn't have. Okay, and what is available in both the users? I click here. See, which means these are the features or the roles access that is available in both the users. This is how it works. Okay. Similarly, you can compare roles also. So which means in case if you want to compare two different roles, you still have an option to compare roles. Clear?
So what is the difference between this? Roles, I'm a bit confused.
Which
Like,
one?
what is this roles actually? What
Role is
exactly
nothing but, let's say, for example, procurement manager.
is it something like a responsibility?
Correct. In EBS, it is called as in responsibility. Here it is called as a role.
Okay.
Okay. So which means now,
MEN.
yeah, actually it's custom. Okay. Let's say, for example, in EBS, you call this as responsibility, correct? And the responsibility has got menus, correct? Menus, sub-menus, task. Here
Hmm.
also you'll see the same. It's called as privileges and access. What he can do, manage assignment, manage procurement. It's similar stuff.
Right, right.
Okay. So it's like a responsibility, you can call it as. So these responsibilities will be assigned to the users.
Okay.
Okay. Wait, search. This is my user. If I open it, see, this is my user account. Here are all my roles, which are nothing but your responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
This is how it works.
And what about this? I just wanted to understand in the going days. Just a thought, okay? We usually, for example, I am the end user and you are the manager, and you will be having a set of roles, and which I'll not be having those because I'll not be using those, right? So
Correct.
how do we enable the those? Usually we call it as in EBS as a grants, right? So how do we give that?
Grants
That
again, see, grants ship. You're talking about shipping grants.
sorry.
Grants is nothing but in which context you're talking about shipping grants or enabling something or
For example, the application at the application level or the user responsibility level, right? So I might not be having that responsibility. So and I might I meant to say like one user we have to avoid him by using the screens, and one user he'll be having the capability to use that screen
correct.
in the
See
screen.
again, correct. So
Yeah.
now these are all the roles that you assign to the user, and based on this, you'll have access. Let's say, for example, if you don't have procurement manager, then you'll not have access to procurement itself. You cannot even use anything in procurement. Okay. But in procurement also, you have something called as business units, which is nothing but like an operating unit. Probably you want to give access to only US, you can still do this one. You want to give it to Canada, you can still do this one. So that is called as data access, and these are the responsibilities. If you don't want to use this, you always can create your own custom roles, and that custom
Mhm.
roles will also restrict what screens you want to access.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. That's what
So,
I was about.
yeah, so you can create your own custom roles and you can limit that. Probably you have a user who should be only viewing the data items, not creating items. So you create a custom role and you do this one and assign it to the user. That's what you can do.
Yeah, that piece of thing which you can cover in the going days,
That is
right?
part of this course itself
Oh, oh.
that we can do. Okay. Now let's talk about data conversions in cloud. Okay, data conversions in in EVS. So what you do, you prepare a file, load it to staging, then run the program, then load it to interface, then run the program, then load it to tables. Correct? This is what you do.
Hmm.
Okay, this is what you do. In cloud, all you can do, download the file from latest file, item PDF, which means you can directly download a template or inventory items. Okay, you directly download a template from docs.oracle.com. This is a sample data. You enter the data in this file. What is my item number? What is my item number? What is my unit of measure? You enter what is the ordination. You enter all the information here. Clear?
Okay.
It is just a template. Prepare file, then convert it to CSV file format. Then load. I mean, basically you create this as the file. Upload to system. Then run import program. This is the things what you can do. Upload the
Prepare a
system.
file, CSV zip file, upload, and then put to the
That's
form.
it. You don't have to do anything else. And you don't run the backend SQL queries. All you can do is upload the file. You do this using load interface program and select the file and load it. Then the data is moved to interface tables. Then you run the import program, and the data is moved from interface to base tables. Clear?
Got it.
These are all done by the functions.
Okay. So here in this prepare a file and CSV and zip file upload and import. And
Correct.
it
That's
will
it.
pass it to the load interface tables and
But
interfaces, right? Okay. So what if there is some stuck or any error? How do we identify those? Got it.
interface tables is most of the interface tables to base tables. Okay. This is quite simple. You don't have to do a lot of transactions here. Then you have something called as reports and analytics. Click on this browse catalog. Okay, so again, in case if you want to run the reports, basically you have seeded reports, and if you want to create some custom reports ideally, okay. So you have out of the box feature that is called as OTPA. In general, in EBS, you used to go to the tool schedule process to run the programs, right? It's still the same thing. You can still run it. But if you want to create your own reports, you have something called as OTP. It is like a drag and drop methodology where you can search for a folder and run it. Okay. So
Okay.
now, in case if you want to do this, you want to write a SQL queries and bring the data, you can also do this. Okay. The two this one is a BA, then the other one is OTP. BA is nothing but business publisher where business intelligence. In case if you want to write the SQL queries, select start from. Okay. Just if you want to run it, all you can do.
Pramod, your voice is breaking. Like
Okay, is it audible now? Am I audible?
yes, yes.
Okay. So we are just running the SQL query. This is how you do this. With this is within the cloud application also. See that you get the data. Clear?
Mhm.
This is how you can
Got it.
create your SQL and run the report. Okay.
Okay.
And you have something called as BA, so OTBA, which ideally is like a drag and drop methodology. Where you have something called as subject areas, folders. Basically, you have folders. That folders will have fields. You just click on the drag and drop, and you can create a report out of this. I mean, looks like this is a little bit slow. Okay, but to give you an overview, right? It has a folder. It has got fields. You can just drag and drop, and you can create a report out of it. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. Right. Purchasing real time. Let's say, for example, you see here, right?
Your okay.
Okay, so you can create a report uh, just using a drag and drop methodology. Let's say, for example, this is me. Just click on drag. That's it.
Mhm.
PO header, purchase order total, the order number. Just click on result. It gives you data for you. If you have access to business units. Okay, if you have a data, it displays the data. Just to just give you know how it works. It creates a report for you. Clear?
Oh,
That's it.
so this is nothing but the OTBI reports.
OTB reports. You can create your own OTB reports.
Okay.
All right, so that's it from my side. Feel free to ask any questions, Shubhat.
No, Pramod. Just there are few things in the sense like I just wanted to understand the basic navigations and the responsibility assignment and all those things
Yeah,
and
that will be part of the
entire scratch implementation kind of configurations, right? And
correct.
all the tools we use and as you told this one, right? OTPI and other things.
Hmm.
So this is what my expectations is from this from the course. And yes, and if we have any ongoing, for example, if we have any ongoing issues in your current
Best
area,
practices, issues, concerns.
yes.
Yeah, that will be part.
Yes,
That we
and
can anyways demonstrate when we are
yes.
actually doing the course.
Yes, and apart from this, like a basic like interview mm, part of you,
Hmm.
how what all things we might expect the panelist can ask
Hmm.
on the fusion side, right? So it will be easy, right? So the topics will be easy for us to understand and provide the same kind of expectations to the during the interview
Sure.
practice.
Yeah,
Okay.
that we can do. That we can do.
So yeah, I'm okay with this. We can go ahead and let me know.
Sure.
I'll connect the team, Tirupati, and I'll let you
Sure.
know.
Yeah, you can talk to Tirupati.
Sure.
Okay, Shubhat.
Thanks
Thanks
a
for your
lot.
time.
Have a great day.